Welcome to the ATX Gear Show. I'm Keny.
And I'm Wes.
And today we're going to do a Cornish G2, which is a $600 pedal, versus a ProCo RAT, which is $70 pedal.
70 to 80 bucks, yeah. Gonna do a little comparison today and see, because we really loved the ProCo RAT.
I love the ProCo RAT.
Both of us did.
This ProCo RAT that we're going to be playing today was actually a birthday present a couple of weeks ago from my wonderful father-in-law. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
The RAT is awesome. The RAT, we both played it. We both loved it. To be honest, I haven't really even spent much time with the G2, but I got it and I played it a little bit and I do like it.
So how are you going to buy a $600 pedal and then not play it?
You know, sometimes you just impulse buy.
Okay.
What do you want from me? So we thought this would be an interesting comparison to see $80 pedal we really like versus a $600 pedal that we don't really have an opinion on yet. So let's check them out. They're both drive pedals. The Cornish pedals have various levels of distortion or drive. As you could, they have the S2, the G2, and the P2, the P3, the S3, S1. They're all various levels of distortion. So this is kind of somewhere right in the middle of the pack in terms of what distortion their pedals can offer.
We dialed the RAT in to try to match as close as we could to like the G2. We tried to match their sounds up.
Yeah.
To match.
And I think what would be cool to do is to A/B them. And then because a lot of people have told us that the RAT works really well as a boost.
Right.
Is to once we play through them both, let's boost the G2 with the RAT and see how that works out.
Let's do it.
Tritone.
Tritone.
Distorted tone. They both have a nice little amount of sustain there. Let's try it now with the G2. I'll do some lead and try it with the RAT as a boost.
All right, let me dial the RAT down to boost mode. All right, let's see what we got going.
Let's go G2, no RAT first.
All right.
All right.
All right, here we go with the RAT. All right, man. So the G2 sounds really good. I'm not gonna lie, man.
You want to try it? You're gonna try it, right?
It definitely sounds.
Well, let's switch things around and let Keny give it a try and see what he thinks. I don't think you played through the G2.
I have not.
All right, well, let's check it out. Why don't we hear the dry tone?
All right, here we go, dry tone.
All right, let's go with the Cornish G2 to start with.
Do it.
Let's hear it as a boost now.
Let's do it.
I'll click the G2 on first, and then I'll boost in the RAT.
All right, cool.
If I need to, I'll dial it in a little bit.
Yeah, dude. It's noisy. Sounds bad.
Why don't we talk about these here pedals?
All right, dude. G2 is badass. I mean, it's $600 pedal. Better sound badass.
It's better.
But I mean, the RAT, dude, for a fraction of the cost, I'm gonna go RAT. I'll never have $600 to spend on a pedal.
I have $600 that I don't have that I will spend on the pedal, but whatever.
You did.
You know, I like the RAT a lot. When we played it, that was one of my favorite shows we ever did. Yeah. But then when I put it side by side with the G2 can get all of that distortion and sustain, which I was surprised. Yeah. When we came in here today, I really thought that I was going to be disappointed because the RAT has so much sustain on it that I thought there's no way the G2 can do that. But it absolutely does. It has the same amount on it. But what I found was that the G2 was warmer.
It is.
And it has more bottom end.
It does.
And you've often told me when we're doing the recordings in post, hey man, can you make the guitar sound a little bassier, a little bassier? And when I hear you click between those two, you got a lot more bottom end on the G2 versus the RAT. Yeah. In post, obviously, I'll be able to see if that's actually true or if that's just my perception. Right. But I think it's going to come out sounding pretty good.
In the room, it did. It sounded bassier.
It did.
RAT sounded more compressed in higher frequencies.
Remember how we had talked about the RAT being a pedal that probably a lot of metal players like?
Right.
I can really hear that difference now when I play the two, because that one has that, the RAT has that sort of tone.
Yep, it does.
That compressed, very distorted, very good, rich tone, but it's more compressed. Where the G2, one thing that I found surprising about it is that it's very transparent.
It is.
It seems to not really change. I hate to use this cliche, but it doesn't really seem to change your tone, other than adding the effect into the tone.
Of the distortion.
Yeah, and other than that, it doesn't really add any other noise. It doesn't really add it doesn't add a lot of volume, which is why I read that a lot of people will use a G2 in conjunction with something to boost.
Right.
Because like we have this volume at 9 and it could use a little more.
Right. All right. So I will say with the RAT, man, running it through the Marshall earlier today, I was using a RAT as a boost with the gain section of the Marshall. And it was like, add that. It was bad.
Well, I mean, and we also have these amps set pretty low. I'd really love to hear how this G2 and the RAT sound through something like a Cornell or a Marshall Plexi cranked up to 10. They're probably whole different animals at that point, and they probably both sound fantastic. So my recommendation, you made yours. Mine would be, if you're looking for a really good pedal and you don't have a lot of money, the RAT is absolutely a great pedal to get. It's like $80 and it's fantastic. If you have a lot of money and you want something that is a little better, but also maybe if you have like a really high-end amp and you want everything in your chain to be, you know, that level of quality, then the G2 is probably going to sound incredible on that type of stuff. But they're both really good pedals. Yeah. I like using both of them in conjunction.
Yeah, it sounds good.
What I really want to do now is I want to go home and I want to try the G2 boosted with my BK Butler.
Great pedals. Love the RAT. Love the RAT. Thank you, Bill. And yeah, man, G2.
And thank you, Pete Cornish.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't know, he builds all sorts of pedals. Like we mentioned in the beginning, there's a whole series of these pedals with varying stages of gain and different options on them. And he also builds custom pedal boards.
Yeah, for like David Gilmour.
For all sorts of people, yeah. And I've seen pedal boards that he's built where he actually will take the innards of all the pedals that you want on the board and take them out and build them into the actual board itself. It involves a whole lot of crazy wiring and electrical skill, but that's what the guy does. So he does a lot of cool stuff. Check it out. I even have the nice little.
You like put your name.
Put my name on the pedal. Makes you feel. For $600, you get a Dynamo Label Baby Junior name on your pedal. That's worth it alone, if you ask me. So why don't we wrap this up?
Let's do it.
All right. So we hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned next week for a new video. And like this channel, please like this video. Subscribe to this channel. And we'll see you next week because we're half drunk,
half stoned,
but fully reviewed.
Yeah.
My butt hurts.
It's nice. Oh,